The coconut tree is a very precious plant for people in the tropics. They consider coconut as the tree of life, nature's greatest gift, and the most beneficial tree for mankind. The reason why they call it that way is because they don't just eat the coconut fruit, but they also use it to build houses, make diverse tools, and even as a medicine to treat diseases. The coconut fruit has a 3-layered shell structure, and its white flesh and coconut water can be obtained only after the first outer skin is pierced, the second middle husk is peeled off, and finally, the inner shell is broken. The second middle husk removed here is composed of a fibrous layer and becomes very useful. The natives of the coconut growing regions used to make a strong rope from this coconut fiber for fishing and ships, as well as to make rugs and build various furniture and houses. Additionally, after the coconut's middle husk is removed, the third inner shell appears. This shell is round and extremely hard, making it suitable for tableware such as bowls and cups. It was also used as an excellent fuel for starting fires. The versatility of coconuts does not end here. Coconut tree leaves, reaching up to 3 meters in length, could be used to make baskets or hats, and the wood had also diverse uses, which shows why the coconut is called the tree of life. For that reason, in regions where coconuts are commonly used, there is a saying that goes, "There is no life without coconuts." Coconuts were not only a source of material value but also influenced people's perspective of the world and their way of thinking. According to the creation myth of Cook Island in the South Pacific, our universe looks like the shell of a hollow coconut, with the inner side of the shell being the underworld and the outer side representing the world in which we live. And in India, the coconut's rough husk represents greed, selfishness, and negative aspects of human beings, and the white flesh symbolizes their inner light and beauty. Therefore, it is believed that one can dispel negative thoughts and connect with the divine essence through the ritual of breaking coconut. As coconuts have been so valuable to mankind for a long time, a lot of stories about the origin of coconuts are told in different parts of the world. And, interestingly enough, many of these stories are associated with human heads. Most stories go like this. For example, there are a lot of bizarre stories that tell about a person named A who dies for some reason, and from the place where a part of his body was buried a tree grows and it bears fruit with A's face. The reason why such a bizarre story is passed on is because of the coconut's appearance. On the surface of the inner shell of a coconut, 3 circles with some grooves can be observed, and from a distance, it looks similar to a human head. There is also a theory that the etymology of the name coconut is derived from the Portuguese word coco, which means monkey face. There is another really amazing fact about coconuts. Its fruits are capable of crossing the sea on their own and taking root in some other islands or regions. This is possible thanks to the coconut's thick shell, which makes it resistant to salt water and float. And some studies have shown that coconuts can be drifting on the sea for 4 months, and still can take root as long as they find proper land. In fact, in 1883, there was a massive eruption of a volcano called Krakatau in Indonesia, in which 6,000 people lost their lives and the island's ecosystem was completely destroyed. But there is a record of coconut trees starting to grow on the island's coast after 7 years. Additionally, on Bikini Island, which had been a nuclear bomb test site for about 10 years since 1946, coconuts that came from outside started growing 9 years after the nuclear bomb test ended. Perhaps because of such powerful propagation characteristics, coconut trees are always pictured in the images of a desert island. Coconuts didn't just propagate naturally. During the Age of Exploration, which began in the 15th century, it was also spread to various regions by Europeans. Even before the Age of Exploration, Europeans knew about the existence of coconuts. However, not whole coconuts were brought in, only coconut oil and husks were traded by Arab merchants. And these coconut husks were decorated very luxuriously and used as refined cups for popes and royalty. Then, in the 13th century, detailed information about coconut fruits was delivered to Europe by the Book of Travels of the Italian explorer Marco Polo, and later on, at the end of the 15th century, the whole coconut fruit was brought to Europe by the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama. Being a safe source of drinking water, an excellent material for sailing ropes, and an edible fruit. Coconuts quickly won the hearts of Europeans. Europeans started carrying always coconuts on their voyages, and coconut plantations owned by Europeans were established in the Americas and Africa as well. Since then, coconuts began to shine through, as they have done in the tropics. Coconut shells were used to make ladles, spoons, curtains, etc., as well as to make clothes and charcoal. In addition to this, the oil extracted from coconuts was used for cooking and the mass manufacturing process of lamp oil or soap. And by the 19th century, large-scale coconut plantations were established throughout the tropics. Finally, in the 21st century, even coconut water became commercialized in Western countries. And in 2004, a drink called Zico was launched in the United States. Now we know why coconuts are the most beneficial fruit for mankind.